Playoff game from here on out. We talked about that a little bit as a group, and that's just the reality right now. We need to win games, and we got 2 for sure left. But yeah, that is the reality. It's every game's an elimination game. So,
Ethan, for you, Coach mentioned every game's sort of an elimination game from here on out. I know you haven't been healthy all year. That's true for a lot of players on the team. Some things have been frustrating, but you guys have everything to play for and a chance to get in the tournament. What's the mindset of the team heading into this week?
I mean, like you said, we're not guaranteed. Like, we have 2 games, and we have to win them both. So that's the mindset right now. Our eyes on preparing just however we can and the best way that we can in order to set us up for success for this weekend. And then we're going to go out and just play our hearts out and play for each other and try to win those 2 games. That's all we can do.
Colton, I know that the games are important. That goes without saying, but both you guys are also seniors. We got senior night coming up on Sunday. Is it sort of hitting you that your time at CMU is sort of winding down? Does that factor into your thought process at all leading up to this week?
I definitely have thought about it a little bit, but to me, I'm trying not to think about that because to me, it's one game at a time. I mean, it's not about senior night or anything like that. It's just about going as far as we can this year, and nothing really matters before what happened before this year. So winning one game at a time is what I'm thinking about most.
And Coach, last 2 games of the year, starting with Mines this Friday. Obviously, they're in first place, defending regular season champs, and then Christian on Sunday. Just talk a little bit about those opponents.
Yeah, 2 good teams. Mines is what they always are. They're a really solid, organized team that competes hard, works really hard, and has some individuals up front that can kind of hurt you individually. Christian's a lot improved every year. They kind of keep improving, and same thing, big physical team that is well organized, and we got our work cut out for us. But these are the types of games that we enjoy playing, that we like to play. Nobody likes going into games that you're guaranteed to win, and it's kind of boring. So for us to be going into the last weekend playing 2 really top teams is that's how I would want it.
Questions?
Coach, you said every game's a playoff game. Are you guys taking more of a mental approach in practice now, or you take kind of laying off, or you guys taking more intensity?
I think we've been trying to be intense the entire season. There's things we've done well this year in one game, and then the next game we kind of struggle with, and so we go back to the drawing board like, all right, we need to work on this week, and I don't feel like we've gotten to the best version of ourselves at any point this year. So every week there's been something to work on, and so this week's no different. There's some things that we know we need to improve on going into this weekend, and that's what we're trying to focus on. And yeah, just getting ready for that first game.
You talked about you don't want to focus on senior night, man. What's your mentality going into this playoff run?
My mentality is just basically the preparation is the biggest thing, not really focusing on the results. Focusing on what it takes to win is the most important thing, because at the end of the day, that's all you can really do to get the end result is to prepare and focus on what it takes. So.
You, man, what's your classification? Sorry.
I'm a senior as well.
Senior,
Yeah.
Okay. So kind of the same thing, kind of thinking about that.
Yeah, so, I mean, we have 2 guaranteed games left. That's what it is, and I'm going to continue to just give everything to the program, and I've given everything to the program these last 4 years, and just keep doing that and leave it on the field and have no regrets by the time it's over. And hopefully that's farther down the road than these last 2 games, but we're going to give it everything.
Ethan, you've been such a fixture on this field for your entire career, and then you get hurt this year. How hard was it to be on the sideline going, I want to get out there and help these guys? Because you guys are just this far off on a lot of games when everybody seemed like getting hurt left and right.
Of course, it's a little frustrating not being able to be out on the field myself, but I have a high level of trust in my teammates and the person next to me that can do the job that I'm not able to do. So personally, it was a little frustrating, but I knew that the person that would step up would be able to do the job. And they've been playing great, and the team's been playing good. So I'm happy to be back and being able to contribute again. But I have full trust in my teammates and coaches, and to get results like that we needed.
As soon as you got back on the field, it looked like you were definitely ready to go.
Yeah, mentally I was never tuned out. I knew right when I got my opportunity to step back on the field that I was ready to go and I had a job to do. So I think it's kind of difficult. A lot of players, a lot of athletes coming off an injury, maybe they're a little hesitant and stuff, but my focus was being able to get my 100 and doing what I can to help the team.
Did it kind of help watching a little bit, kind of seeing the game from a different perspective? Because I know it's different when you play so much and then you can't. Just kind of see things differently.
Yeah, it's definitely a different point of view. I was able to step back and maybe help guys who were in the game. Maybe they missed some things, but providing insight like that, it's definitely a different role. But it's a role, no doubt, and trying to do what I can to help the team and help the players that are playing. That was kind of what I tried to do.
Well, do you guys feel like you're almost back to normal now? Getting guys healthy again and seeing, okay, this is kind of how we can play?
I mean, it's really good to have these guys back. I mean, every single person on the team has a role, and Ethan has a big role in the team, and some of these guys, like, there's many people that can play, but it's great to have everybody back just to go in and try to be at our peak at the right time.
It just gives you that little more depth that you really didn't have for a few weeks.
I mean, I think we had depth. Some of the issue was we were trying to play guys in different positions to fill holes, and it's just tough. Like, last weekend was a great example of it. We were able to play 2 games and rotate a little bit to try to be fresher for the Sunday game. When you're already kind of rotating guys because you have people out, then it's harder to rotate the next person in after that, if that makes sense. So I think that's the biggest challenge with us when we're banged up and missing guys, is just rotating to stay fresh after that, because it's a ton of pressure on players to play 2 games in 3 days on a weekend and be their best for 180 minutes. And when we have our depth and we have our full complement of players, we're able to spread that load a lot better and take some of that pressure off guys.
Get guys back in their normal positions and had to shift over a little bit.
Sure.
Is it frustrating for you guys as a team getting so many shots and so many of those on goal and nothing kind of that, or do you look at it as something like we are getting those shot opportunities, we just need a better outcome? I guess kind of do that.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of shots in the last game, but we talked about it last night when we looked at film. I don't feel like a lot of those shots were high percentage opportunities, so it's really hard to walk out of that game and go, we're hard done by, or we were the better team and we just didn't finish our chances. Like, honestly, I just don't think we were dangerous despite the fact that we had 34 chances. And we talked about some of the reasons as to why, and what makes us successful. There's games that that's obviously 34 shots is the most we've had all season, but we've had games where we've only had 15 or 12 shots and we look like we were going to score 4 or 5, So I think that is the distinction. Stats are great, but it doesn't always tell the story of where those chances are coming from or just how dangerous those chances are. So.
All right, question of the week. Halloween coming up. Do you guys have a favorite costume from when you were a kid, or it could be recent, but any time in your life, favorite Halloween costume, thing that you've been for Halloween?
When I was a kid, I was Buzz Lightyear. Loved Buzz Lightyear and Woody as a kid.
I've always been a lazy Halloweenist, if you want to call it, and so I usually dress up like a soccer player. So Very lazy.
When I was younger, I had a inflatable ostrich costume and inflatable legs. Looked like I was riding the ostrich, so I think that was a good one.
Go. All right.